Okay, we have Morgan on the
I'm
podcast.
doing the intro.
Okay, Sheena's doing the intro. Okay, go. Give her. We're good. We're good.
So Derek got this new toy, and now we have intro music,
Which is
this lovely?
phenomenal.
Woo! Yeah, it's really getting us in the zone. We would like to welcome our friend and special guest, Morgan Russell. He is a serial entrepreneur, and as Derek would say, he's the Wayne Gretzky of real estate. And we are here to just, talk all things business. And he's not only a real estate agent, but he's doing a lot of things. And he has also an entrepreneurial business wife, and she'll be on next. So here we go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Yay.
Okay, all right. All right, so let's kick it off. Sheena, are you going to take the first question?
Go
then?
for him.
Okay. Okay, I think the thing that people want to talk about is, how did you start your business? Was it hard? Was it challenging? Are you glad you did it?
That's a lot of questions in
That's
one.
a lot of questions
Yeah.
in one.
How did you start? How did you get your start? Yeah.
Let's piece this down into one, peel the onion back a little bit. So I've always been in business. I've always starting at a young age, I was always thinking entrepreneurially. And then when I moved to Edmonton in 2000, I went from a sales job to real estate, found that transition. And then real estate allowed me to actually build up enough of an income to start purchasing my first business. So my first business I bought was a self-storage place out at Pigeon Lake.
Oh, wow.
Actually,
That's
yeah,
amazing.
it was kind of cool. So ran that for a few years, and then that transitioned to a hydrovac company and
No way.
and so on and so on. So yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah. I've always been not afraid to try, right?
Yeah.
I've always been the risk taker.
Yeah.
So it's been easy for me just to, let's throw some money at this. It looks interesting. Let's give it a try. If it doesn't work, hey, I'm still young. I can make money, and we'll go back at the second thing.
Yeah, because that's a
That's-
big thing, because a lot of people that I talk to now who are looking to start a business,
Yeah.
they're so afraid to start.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Because
well,
they don't want to fail. They're like,
They
well,
don't
what
wanna
if
fail.
it goes wrong? Or they're
Yeah.
looking at the
Yeah.
problems
Yeah.
before they even just give it a try.
But failing has been the biggest life lessons for me personally.
Yeah.
And I'm sure for a lot of people that get into business, you're not learning if you're not failing. Right.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
yeah,
That's
I'm not
awesome.
afraid to fail. I've done it.
Yeah.
It's very expensive. Lessons are expensive, but
Oh, we have no experience in that.
yeah.
Just a few. Just a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That's
No,
good.
but it's been every business that I've gotten into, there's something new to learn. I haven't people try and say oh, stay in your lane when you're getting into business, do what you're passionate about. Or, you know what? I've followed, the idea that this business looks good, the income looks good, cash flows look good. I can learn this. Let's do it.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm always willing to give it a try.
That's
So when
awesome.
you're looking at purchasing a business or getting involved, what are the steps in that? You look at their financials, or how do you know
Yeah.
what would be a positive or a negative? So you're saying don't be afraid to try.
Yeah.
But if you look at a business and you're like, this is maybe not something I want to try at.
Yeah. I think if right off the hop, if you see too much red flags, you do walk away. There's so many businesses out there for sale. There's so many different opportunities. My accountant is my best friend. I just had lunch with him yesterday, and I sent him a business that I'm looking at buying. And I'm like, Avi, here it is. Get back to me with the Coles notes. Let me know what you
Okay.
think. Right. So partnering with a good lawyer, a good accountant, building those relationships that help you create a situation for success is probably the best advice I could give.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know a lot of people even when I was coming out of high school, it was a lot of talk. Follow your passion. Do what you're passionate about. And so I did do that.
Yeah.
And I didn't make money.
Yeah.
So now I realize.
But you were happy?
I was happy. And I was young. And that's actually, I'm like, you know what? If you sometimes you need to have a business that makes you money so you can do what you're passionate about and build that thing. And then who knows where that passion business will go. But you'll learn a lot along the way.
If you can't pay your bills or you can't eat,
Yeah.
that's not very happy.
Yeah. And you're not going to be happy, and you're not going to
Yeah.
be successful at that business. Right.
Exactly.
Because your priority is money. In the beginning, for sure, when I was young, my priority was cash flow. Right.
Yeah.
That's what I was going for.
Yeah.
Now it's a little different than I'm, 50 plus. But
That's awesome. That's great. That's great.
even in real estate, I tell people, it's residential real estate is like a starting point for you. You're going to start building up building up that network, building those relationships, a strong foundation, like the trunk of a tree almost, right? And then as you grow, The tree grows. You've got all these different branches and different avenues that you can take in real estate. You can do farms, you can do leasing, you can do, commercial, you can do land, multifamily. Like there's so many different facets. And I always tell people just build that strong foundation first, and then you'll find what you're passionate about in real estate, and you'll start to branch out and go that way. So
That's awesome.
That is good
That's
advice.
great advice. Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. Like you talked about, building that network is so massive, and I think it's like step one, because if you have that network, again, the opportunities become pretty endless, because no matter what you're doing, if you have a good reputation and people like you, and you go into something new, they're going to go along with you, and you have so much a better chance of success.
100%. Yeah.
So that's great. Love it.
And talk to everybody, right? Like I've never been shy about talking to people. It's, my mom walks into a superstore and getting groceries, and she's got 11 friends at the checkout by the time she leaves, right? So I've kind of taken on that from her. Right. So I talk to everybody. I always tell my kids too, like, don't not talk to strangers. Like, talk to strangers, because they may be a connection for you later on in life in terms of business, or, a need, or, maybe you can support them in some way. Right. So talk to strangers, go to networking clubs, build those relationships.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome.
I think also like being genuine. So like when we met you're just like being genuine. Like you weren't trying to like get something from us, or like vice versa. Like just like having like a genuine interest in people too.
That's right. Yeah.
If you're shy, can you go into real estate, or would you recommend to just pick something else, like computer programming?
No, honestly, if you are shy, you can go into real estate. It might be a little tougher, obviously, but I think now real estate, like when I started, it was a very relationship-based business. Now it's very transactional, in the sense that with computing, AI, messaging, texting, like realtors, like I used to go present an offer, and I'd sit with the realtor at a table like this. The realtor's here and his clients are there, and we're literally negotiating face to face.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened in like, I don't know, 6 years, 7 years, right? Like that's just doesn't happen anymore. Like those relationships aren't there.
Well, I was going to say that we actually, Derek and I, one of our hobbies, or one of the only things that we watch, is real estate shows.
Yeah.
Like $1 Million Listing, Los Angeles, New York.
Yeah.
We love it. There's the Parisian agency too.
Okay.
It's the French one.
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. I like it. It helps you learn French too. And no, so when you said like it's not face to face anymore, I'm like, actually, that's right. Like you see them a lot of times texting the deal, or going back and forth and doing the offer. And so do you still like to try to do the face to face, or is it
100%.
just, so I noticed from those shows, like they are actually doing like the texting deals, but then just meeting clients face to face. So is that TV?
It's so
is
weird.
that reality?
Like for me, no, that is like, I mean, you meet your own client. If you're going to do a listing, you meet the client, you do a walkthrough of the home. But in terms of buying a home now, like you're never going to see the seller, and I probably will never meet the seller. But for me, it's important, because I do talk to people, and you can kind of figure out, where their pain points are. So if we're sitting here negotiating a deal, maybe it's not a price for them. Maybe it's like I need to close next week kind of thing, right? So maybe we can get a better price, but have to work the possession, right? So it's a give and take. And I get that sense when I'm sitting with people, or sitting with the seller or buyer, I can kind of feed off that energy and figure out where their pain points are in order to get a better deal for my client. Yeah.
Do you watch any of the real estate shows? I do want to ask that. Selling Sunset, right?
Selling Sunset's good.
So dramatic. I can't watch it. I'm like,
$1 Million
like,
Listing LA is good.
Like there's too much
The
yelling.
New York one.
Yeah.
That's good too, but
that's good.
Okay.
yeah.
So
It's hard to fathom like all those prices and things like that. Like we just don't see that here in Edmonton, right? Like so
I wonder
they're
how
making
much
like 6-figure commissions on every deal, and
it's so cool.
it's insane.
Yeah,
but how
I
much
love
is for the show, and how much like actually happens? Like if those deals go through
I actually
or not.
did look into that. I think if you Google it, you'll see like I forget what show it was, but I Googled the realtors only do like 1 or 2 deals a year, as opposed to like all this stuff on TV happening, and they're doing a deal, catching, it's so fake.
because they take a year, a year and a half, and condense it into 10 shows.
It is literally like all so, to be honest, right?
Yeah, no, that's hilarious.
Even I was in like we were trying to get on one of these real estate shows for Edmonton. And I had an interview with a lady from LA. Our team did. And she was asking me questions. And she's like, okay, well, do you think you could be more dramatic? And I'm like, I'm not a dramatic guy, right? Like I can't really make this, this is what it is,
Yeah.
And she's like, no, like flare your arms around. And I'm like, listen, this is probably
You're
not
like this?
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
I don't
am I a chicken?
I'd be like,
doing
you know what?
jazz hands more in
For
my
TV,
deals? Like,
I
what
can
do you
do
mean?
anything. No problem.
Yeah.
But I got the sense, that's what she's looking for. She's looking for drama. She's looking for
craziness.
craziness, right? And,
people
and
want
so
that.
you definitely get a bird's eye view of what that was.
Not that I'm like proud of it, but I do watch Housewives, not all the franchises. So I could do some drama coaching with you if you wanted.
Those are
But
high
you-
stress shows.
I know it's high stress.
I know
Yeah.
so.
Okay,
I'm just saying to get a TV show, we could do
True.
some drama coaching. But I think you have to have an agreement with all the people and say, listen, I'm going to talk trash about you, but
Yeah.
it's a lie. Like it's just for the show. But we're
Yeah.
good at the end of the day.
Right?
Very ethical.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that really can happen. Anyway, I say,
I think
Speaking
they
of-
do hit below the belt a lot, and
Oh, yeah.
it's hard
Oh, yeah.
not to take
Stir
that
it up.
stuff personal.
I'm just
Okay, I'm actually I'm
Okay,
very
let's
interested
pivot
in
here.
So in real estate right now, like you said, it's got a little bit more like people are texting and blah blah blah.
Right.
Are you still finding like is Facebook ads a big part of what you're doing nowadays to generate leads, or is it still more just network and that really is what works?
Honestly, I think social media is starting to take over from that personal relationship. Like,
Yeah.
It used to be, 99% of your referrals came from you to me, right?
Yeah.
You know me, you trust me, you refer me to your family and friends.
Yeah.
Now, Instagram, posts,
Yeah.
that's the big thing.
the big
Instagram
thing.
is taking over on the referral side of things. I mean, you can be a horrible agent, but you've got a great social media presence
Yeah.
and you're getting referrals, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, so and right now, like one of the big hot topics, our last guest was, Minister of Technology. So talking about AI centers and all this
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
stuff. And I love marketing tools and I love all that stuff just
Yeah.
because of our business. Are you using, or is there a plan to use like AI? Is that coming into your business soon, or is it something that's
Oh yeah.
down the road, or using
Yeah,
it
not
now?
for real estate, not so much.
Yeah.
I do use it to analyze contracts and things like that. But some of my other side hustles, I'm using ChatGPT pretty
Pretty heavy.
heavy, just to do the legal that I'd normally pay a lawyer to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Interesting.
Because a lot
or
of
even
those
to get you
base
closer
contracts.
too, right? Like
Yeah, I mean, as long as you have the principles down and the idea down, I mean, you can put that into ChatGPT and it spits out. Or some of the financial models, like I'm looking at, I can upload a PDF onto ChatGPT and analyze this, and then you prompt it, and it spits out like
Yeah,
the
that's
answers
cool.
you're looking for, right?
Very cool.
Yeah.
So going back to that, that's one interesting thing. So when you take and you get ChatGPT to make you a contract, do you take that contract and just run with it, or do you send it to your lawyer? And
Oh, hell no, I run with it.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I'm very trusting.
do lawyers? I'm just wondering too. I'm like, do lawyers, are they like if you did do that, do they get offended by that? Are they kind of like, well, you kind of,
No,
or are
I
they
think
pretty
everybody, like the writing's on
embracing
the
it?
wall. Like,
Yeah.
you know
I
what I
see.
mean? Like, I think ChatGPT, they said it had a IQ of 1200. By next year, it'll be 12,000.
Yeah, right.
So right now you're starting to see, this is it's in its infancy, right? Like it's
Yeah.
starting to change the way people do business. It's
Yeah.
changing the way you interact, right? In terms of operating your business, like it's gonna cut out a lot of the legal. It's gonna cut out a lot of the even the accounting side of things. Like I see those are the jobs that are probably gonna go by the wayside with AI the way it's progressing.
I think about my accountant. I mean, he is a legend. He's one of these guys too. He just, you can tell he loves it.
Yeah.
And he's got, because when you have all these different companies and how they're interconnected, I just sit there and I'm like, oh my goodness. And he prints out the paper and he's happy to
Yeah.
and he's like, I'm like, how do you enjoy this? This is
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah.
So I think guys who are like amazing,
Yeah.
they're always going to have
Yeah.
work, right? Like
Yeah.
everybody, they're always, because it's like, man,
well, they're adapting too.
they're obviously they'd be adapting too.
But think of all the code that Canada Revenue Agency has and spits out updates, and
Yeah.
no one accountant I don't think can keep up
Yeah.
right? So
all that
I
information.
think AI eventually is the one that's going to become the go-to because it can keep up. It's got all the code loaded and it's going to be literally spitting out income tax returns.
Okay. Sorry I know you probably have more questions.
I keep asking the drama question. I don't want to just be the drama one.
One thing I do,
I only have one more question left.
I think that is super interesting though for people is, and I'm interested in this too.
I'm like, that gives me some confidence just to be like, ChatGPT, here's the contract, let's go for it.
Yeah.
And
but you can load it like I said, you load up a PDF of a contract and you say you need it to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
You've got the base structure. Like I've got NDAs and fee agreements. Like I've got the agreements basically down anyway. So you load that into ChatGPT and it's so, I mean, you can just manipulate a few things in there and it still holds the structure of the agreement, right? So
that's super cool.
We had a clothing contract this year that was basically a novel. We should have loaded it into ChatGPT and had it pick out some of our
condensed
points.
this.
I should have done that. Yeah. Instead I just
we
read through
went
it.
page by page.
But it was good. That was worth it because I've caught some things that.
So you needed to phone a friend.
Yeah.
You call me, Morgan, what would you do?
Yeah, exactly.
What would you
What would Morgan do? Actually, I end up asking myself that question almost every day. I'm like making breakfast. How would Morgan make his eggs?
Poached or over easy? Just FYI for anybody that cares.
Okay. I should try those.
Yeah.
So, okay, one more thing. Okay, so just on the, for Alberta people or Edmonton people, how is the market these days? Is there opportunity to invest in Alberta? Like, is it a good market right now? Or like, what are you seeing out there?
I don't think it's a good time to invest at all, to be honest, because inventory is really down. People aren't selling right now because they're like, what are we going to move into, right? Inventory is down. Prices are going up. Interest rates are coming down, which is a great thing. They just came down another 25 basis points the other day. So that's good, encouraging. But I think a lot of people are sitting on their hands waiting to see what the market does. Maybe these tariffs kick in, maybe they don't, right? There's a lot of unknowns right now in the market. But I was just showing a house this morning. We wrote an offer this morning and generally things are going into multiple offers, right?
Wow.
So it's becoming that seller's market, heated, frenzied, panicked, decision making, which I don't like personally, right? Because people overpay, they aren't really buying something that they really want, right? They're just trying to get into the market.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Edmonton, Alberta, is generally, you guys know, it's like peaks and valleys, right? Oil's up, we're great. Oil's down. Oh, it's like,
look out,
the rapture's coming, like, I mean, it's just, it's inevitable, but that people feel that way. But
no, absolutely.
So right now it's definitely a challenging market. Typically we have 4,000 listings, 3,000 listings we're probably down to 1,000.
Oh,
maybe.
wow.
Yeah. Like Glenora, I was looking at Glenora just the other night and I said to John L., I was like, like last year, you can find an infill lot for 500, 550, right?
And that's just the lot.
That's just, a house to tear down or renovate. You know what I mean? Now there isn't one house under 780,000. Not one.
So prices,
prices are just
crazy.
Getting out of control. So,
and those infill lots are small. Like you're not getting
Some
a
of them,
lot.
yeah.
Actually, I saw your one of your listings
on Candy Cane
Candy
Lane.
Lane.
Yeah,
Candy
yeah.
Cane Lane. I was like, oh, this is Morgan. Okay,
Yeah. That actually that banner I put up for my phone number and information on those infills, I got so many pictures and phone calls saying, hey, like this is like the best advertising you can ask for, is all these cars are just lined up down Candy Cane Lane, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. My timing was impeccable.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, what Sheena, sorry, do you have anything else you're big into that you want to ask us?
What is the craziest, most shocking house you've ever had to walk into? Where you like need to show this house and there's like 20 cats and maybe like a closet full of hamsters. Like, I don't know.
Oh yeah. That's so
Yes.
It's happened a few times. Obviously I've been doing this 24 years. We've had a lot of odd things happen, but definitely two properties stand out. So I used to have a partner and we used to buy homes for cash, right? Okay. So before the bank takes it, give us a call kind of situation, right? So there's one in Sherwood Park, I recall, and the guy called in a panic. It was Thursday night and he's like, the bank said I've got till Tuesday to come up with this $150,000 to pay the house. And it was awful, but I was like, okay, let me see what I can do. So I drove out and banged on the door. And as soon as I entered, it was probably like 4 feet of garbage and clothes and just junk throughout the whole house.
I think he would say they're treasures.
I didn't want to look, right?
Yeah.
Kept my shoes on situation. And, you know, you don't typically do that in Canada.
Hold on. I think I brought my hazmat suit in the car.
Yeah. Literally, there was I was walking through little lanes like of junk to get to the kitchen, to see the bathroom. He's like, do you want to see upstairs? I'm like, no, I'm good. So that was like a pretty intense house. Another one.
But what do you do in that situation?
We bought it.
You did buy it. Okay.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Because I mean, unfortunately, he's in a bad situation. We've got the cash he needs.
Yeah.
So but it did require about $80,000 in renovations, right? So it was a give and take.
Yeah.
He got out. We put some money in his pocket, and other than that, he would have walked away with nothing. But another situation, speaking of cats, there was one where
I knew there was cats.
There has to be, right?
Always has
there's
to
always
be.
a damn
Every
cat
good
somewhere.
story has a cat in it.
Yeah, there was literally about 20 or 30 cats in this house. The person had passed away, but so the cats were just free ranging it in the house. And you get to the front step and you could smell the ammonia.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was so bad.
I regret the question.
Yeah, that house was a complete gut and tear down. You couldn't even salvage the house. It was so bad.
That is insane.
Yeah. It was hard to imagine that someone could have that many cats in one house and still, probably why they died. Just, it was unbearable.
Craziness.
Yeah. So we come across absolutely everything in real estate. You see it all. Funny story, if I can have a minute.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, keep rolling.
So I was doing a showing one time on the north side, and there's this townhouse, and my client and I walk in, and the people are home. And generally, you don't like to see the people at home when you're doing a showing because the buyers, are a little uncomfortable about opening up the cabinets or looking through doors,
going through drawers and stuff like that.
Yeah,
in their bedrooms.
Things that buyers like to do, opening the fridge, cracking a beer,
I knew it. Yeah. I knew it.
Yeah.
Thought I had more cereal than this.
Right.
Morgan.
Yeah. So we went into this townhouse and the family was home, and we got to the top of the stairs and there's 5 bedrooms, a bathroom. So every door on this floor is closed. I'm like, okay, here we go. So knock, knock. Open the door and we go down the hall, get to about the 3rd door, knock, knock. And I open the door and grandma is buck naked.
Oh my.
Just getting out of the shower. She screamed, I screamed, my client screamed, and I slammed the door and we just left.
My goodness.
I was like, hey guys downstairs, you think you're going to tell me that your mom's in the shower?
And here's my question.
Isn't this a thing in your
that
house?
That is not where I thought
why
this
don't people lock the door?
Right?
Lock the door, people.
That was the other thing. Grandma, lock the door.
Hey, somebody's coming. They're going to be looking through the house in all the areas.
No,
Just 5 minutes before she's crushing a hot shower.
Yeah.
She's thinking, oh yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, that was
goodness.
Awesome. It was
That
so
is
that
amazing.
that image is literally burned
I was
in
going to
my
say, you're
brain.
not going to get rid of that.
No, at all.
Yeah.
I take that one to my grave.
Yeah.
That was awful.
So special.
Yeah.
Did you get the house? Did they buy the house?
No.
Oh, so that didn't seal the deal.
No, grandma naked did not seal the deal.
Yeah, she's like,
that's
we're
fair.
brothers. Okay, nowadays. Okay, so here's just going back to the real estate side. Final question: do you prefer to have a team or no team? Why do people have teams? Because people who have teams seem to always be complaining about their teams. Like on the real estate shows.
From the real estate shows, yeah.
They're bring the people in the room and they're, I put everything on the line to have you on my team and you're not pulling your weight. And I'm like, did you really want a team? Why'd you get a team?
Yeah.
Why have a team if
feel
you're
like
going to complain about them?
them all the time.
So that's what I'm interested in.
So when I first started real estate, I was independent. I didn't want to be on a team. I didn't want to join anybody. I was doing this on my own. That's how I roll. So I was very confident in my skills and I didn't want to share my fees with anybody. That's, that's your bread and butter, right? I didn't want to give up those fees. But now as I get older and I like building a team, right? Because I get to pass off, as you guys know, we have those businesses in California. So I'm not always around. So it's great to have the ability to pass off business to younger agents who are just getting into the market or mentoring them too.
Yeah.
Right. I give away quite a few listings. We co-list things together. And it's an teachable moment. Right.
Yeah.
So it's an opportunity for me to teach them and encourage them to stay in the business and help them build their network.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of a win-win. So I really enjoy this team stuff now.
That's awesome.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's wonderful.
Okay, we got rapid fire questions. Rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Okay, that's mine.
I've been like waiting. Like I've really enjoyed the conversation, but I've actually been looking forward to this moment of President Aaron.
Are you going to show me ink blots or?
You're like, Morgan's a 10, but this new road device is an 11.
Okay, sorry. Okay, rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Here we go.
Coffee, tea, or energy drink?
Coffee.
One thing you can't live without that you use every day.
My cell phone.
Your wife is a dentist. Colgate, Crest, Lumino, or other?
I actually use the black tar toothpaste. You know, the fluoride
With the carbon
charcoal.
The charcoal.
Yeah.
That's the one. Burt's Bees.
Okay,
All right, there's a
okay,
plug
okay.
for Burt's Bees. You
There
can
it
put a
is,
little
there it
at
is.
Burt's Bees
Yeah.
on this
Burt's
one.
Bees,
I'm
you
good
can
at that.
sponsor us.
Yeah.
We charge very high rates.
We enjoy your we enjoy your toothpaste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're not
Send some.
totally loyal. You could switch to another carbon
Yeah,
toothpaste.
exactly.
So just saying,
Oh, yeah.
right?
It's up to you, Bert.
Make your move.
Get up early or stay up late.
I'm a little bit of both, actually. Like I do stay up late, but I get up early.
Yep. That's good.
But I do prefer to stay up late.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you could meet any person that is living right now, who would you meet?
Oh boy. Honestly, I think I would like to meet Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
It'd be totally interesting.
Like that would be like a crazy conversation, right?
Totally.
How would you open it?
I'd just shake his hand and introduce myself, and I'm like, "Man, I got a load of questions for you." Like, I'd jump right in. I'd be
So
like,
many.
"Give me like a dinner with Donald."
Yeah.
I'm into that all day long.
All right.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
we could probably actually do something like that and sell tickets. Right, dinner with Donald.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's so true. So true. That's
Oh, yeah,
Donald
that
Trump.
is it. That's a good one. Uh-oh.
How do
Leave your
people reach out
comments.
to our
Yeah,
people? And
Yeah.
great. We'll
Yeah,
do.
let's meet at Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah,
do
Do
it.
a round of golf.
I like that.
How
Send Air
can
Force
people?
One.
Sorry. How can people find you, like on Instagram, or like what's the best way for people to contact
Morgan
you?
Russell Realty is my Instagram. Morgan Russell on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah,
And they can just DM
Awesome.
you.
yeah. I don't
follow along.
TikTok yet,
Okay.
so maybe that's where
I
you
like
guys
that it
come
was
in.
yet. Yeah,
Yeah.
we could do that.
Yeah. You guys need to hook me up.
We'll
Okay,
hook you
let's
up.
do it.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, well, that is the end of that
Wow.
piece.
Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you like, subscribe, leave any comments that you have. I know we dropped some questions down below that you might have for
go.
Morgan. We can always circle back. And yeah, just thanks again for Morgan Russell being here today.
Thank you for
Awesome.
having me. And for anybody out there, I'm always willing to help. If you have any questions about business or anything like that, just give me a ring. Happy to help.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Alrighty.
Oh, I should say you can go to our.
Okay, edit
You
it.
say that. Okay.
Okay.
'Cause you can
Okay,
slice
and
it
if
in.
you want to follow us, you can follow us at North Kinder, at Derek Steinbrenner, which is hard to spell, but just look it up. And otherwise, it's all under North Kinder Media. This whole deal. Right
That
now.
was you
terrible.
gotta try that again.
Okay, you go.
You have
do
to
it,
you have
do
to
it.
extend that music
Yeah.
interlog.
The music is throwing me off.
Let's go. Okay, okay, do your outro.
I'm trying to do an outro, but Derek keeps pressing buttons on this
Tell
thing.
people where to find us.
To find us, Sheena and Derek, you can go to northkindermedia.com. You can sign up to our email list and just be in the club. We are going to have some business connector meetings that you don't want to miss out on. And you can also follow us at North Kinder on social media. So, anyways, thanks so much.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
So good.
That was
So good.
awesome.
She knows we're like stuck. We can't do it.
Yeah.
You're trapped.
She's totally
That's
totally
funny.
working us over.